Hi, my name is Ellie. This is 25,000 Miracles. I had a terrific letter from a lady from Mexico, and it is about her son Jorge. And the name of the lady is Cristina Juarez, and she celebrates that her son Jorge is still on the earth. And 3 times in his life, Jorge was likely going to die. However, a loving God blessed him to stay. Now, this is a quote by Christina. When I was pregnant with him in my 7th month, my son was born weighing 2.4 kilograms. He was very small and sick. We were both alive, but delicate. I recovered. My son spent his first month of life in an incubator. Close quote. Then during his development, Jorge had many problems, and it wasn't until he was aged 4 that he was even able to catch up with the other children, but he did catch up. And Christina knew that a loving God was watching over her son. Then life threw another curve when Jorge was 5 years old. He was outside playing, just having fun with his pedal car, and he was run over by a car. And his mother, Christina, says this, I saw him under the tire, and with anguish, I thought the worst. He had a severe leg injury, close quote. Medical checkups were very painful for this little 5-year-old boy, and he was terrified of injections, but little by little, he recovered. Now, having seen her son under the wheel of a car, Christina knew once again he survived with help from God. Survived with help from God. Jorge grew into adulthood, and he married, and he and his wife had children, and they were happy, and they lived in a small village. And then COVID-19. Well, it seemed like everything was in his favor because they were in a small area. There weren't as many people. They took lots of precautions. But then one day, on January 5th of 2021, Jorge developed cold symptoms, and within a day, he had a fever. And his breathing became more difficult. And there's a quote here from Christina. I could just dig it up here. Christina said, we feared he was infected with the coronavirus. He went to bed on Tuesday. He was soon unable to get up. Loved ones recommended take him to the hospital, but his wife and children decided he should stay at home, close quote. Hospitals were saturated with patients, and so many of them were dying. They wanted the husband, father, close to them. Now a doctor came to the home and he informed them. Here's his quote. This is a severe case of coronavirus. I can inject, give medicine, and take care of him. But this is a matter between you and your Lord, between you and God. Close quote. The doctor left instructions on everything. Jorge had oxygen, home remedies, medications, healthy foods, and from there he was in God's hands. Now, Christina tells us, and I have another quote here. Christina tells us, friends and family prayed for Jorge. I watched my son's care through the window. Christina lived right next door. His loving wife took care of him, knowing she could catch the virus. Having great faith, she prayed, asking God how she could help her husband. I communicated with her through text messages, close quote. I'm sorry. I know these people very well. Messages to Jorge's mother spoke of his struggle to breathe, and they also mentioned where he would sleep for long, long periods that would concern everybody. Jorge finally requested a notebook. He wanted to write how things would be in case the worst happened, and he wanted to say his last words to his family. But finally, Jorge began improving. They were cautioned to be careful, and on the doctor's final visit, when Jorge was well, the doctor confessed to them that he did not think, from the beginning, he never thought that Jorge would make it. He felt that he was going to die like all his other patients had died from coronavirus. Well, this was a Jorge who suffered through two other events. He came too early as a baby. He was run over by a car as a 5-year-old. He survived. This grateful family thanked God for past miracles, and today they give thanks for Jorge and having a third miracle. And I have one more quote from the mom. Each time I was very scared, the only thing I could do was pray and ask others to join me in prayer. I thank Heavenly Father, who has always been at Jorge's side, close quote. Thank you so much for joining me for this fantastic story. Thank you, Christina. 25,000 miracles come back.